Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? I'm here to do the weekly review of the games from this week. So, appreciate all of the engagement. It was great seeing everybody for the draft. I think we're going to do that moving forward. The live draft was pretty amazing, and had a great time with everybody. And then there was no glitches on the Google Hangouts, so awesome. So first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to open it up before I go into the reviews with something that's been on my brain a little bit today. So I was thinking about it as I'm looking at all the Yahoo fantasy scores and taking a look at everybody's teams and kind of weighing out who had great weeks and who didn't. The first thing I wanted to open it up with, I think I have a conspiracy on my hands. So the conspiracy that I have on my hands is that if you all remember on the DirecTV commercials, all the DirecTV commercials that have come out very recently with certain sports items or sports people that have come out and talked about how my other self and this self and my current player are not. So I'm going to walk you through it real quick, just to touch base and see exactly what I think is a curse, much like they call the Madden curse whenever somebody's on the Madden cover and then they get a big injury and then they're done. This is called the DirecTV direct impact is what I'm calling this conspiracy, or I could call it DirectGate. That could be another name for it. So, first player that is on these commercials that you see, that is out there, is this guy right here. So this guy, Peyton Manning. So he goes on DirecTV. He has this full thing. Don't be like this Peyton on the DirecTV piece of it. Goes through and lays an absolute egg. Looks like garbage on Sunday. Is throwing wobblers. Is sacked 4 or 5 times in the game. Doesn't look like the old Peyton Manning of old. All kinds of people are saying his career's done. Who knows? But on the same token, this guy felt DirectGate affect him. Okay? That's the first one. Number one. Okay? I have props. It's pretty good. Second one would have to be this guy. So we all know that is the other golden child of the NFL, not including named TB12, the greatest quarterback that ever lived. But this is the other 12, named Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck went and played the Buffalo Bills and made them look like an absolute Super Bowl team. Everybody in the world saying the Buffalo Bills are going to win the Super Bowl now. They're going to be the greatest thing that ever happened in football, et cetera, et cetera. Week 1, crazy prognosticators saying it's going to be the greatest show on turf. The greatest defense ever put together, and his name is Rex Ryan as the coach. Great year. This guy faced the Buffalo Bills, but he also faced DirectGate, quarterback number 2. Direct correlation? I don't know, but I have another one. Hold on. Okay. Last but not least, 3 out of the 4 quarterbacks doing all of these ads, outside of Tony Romo, who actually had a very good game, is this guy. So I want you to look closely. I want you to feel it out. I want you to see who I'm talking about here. His name is Sheila Manning, and he's the guy. Yes, he's even pointing to himself. See that? He's looking at himself saying, who am I? And why do I make bad decisions in big games sometimes? Oh, yeah, they won 2 Super Bowls. I know. But, the fact of the matter is that this guy is not a guy you want on your fantasy team. Will, I'm so sorry when you drafted him. We kind of knew that was going to happen. And I did get your post about the fact that you can't stand him and he's dead to you, right? I get it. But what is this right here? 1, 2, 3, DirectGate. That's what it is. It's a conspiracy. They put him on the cover to be able to talk about how you guys are all horrible. When in all actuality, the only person you got to know about, the only person you got to be like is this guy. Right here. That guy. TB12. Tom Brady. Right there. The GOAT. The best. Number 1. Anyway. Let's get into our review of this week. I know as many of you are patiently waiting to see me try to gloat and be able to sit back and go, holy cow, after Yahoo put a grade on my draft as being absolutely horrible, worse than the entire league, since I have no growth, no movement or whatever. I had a couple people calling me to help me wipe my tears away, to be able to understand that you don't have that bad of a team, Shane. It's not that bad. I'm like, well, I'm not feeling that great about it. But as I look at it, I had two things happen with my team this week. I scored the most points out of anybody in the entire league, and I won by the most points of anybody in the entire league. So the blowout of the week goes against Deflate These Nuts, against the Foster Blues, 167.78 to 121.12. Now, Foster, Rick, 121 is still a pretty good score. It would have beat probably about a quarter of the league that's out there, maybe even half of it, but it didn't, because I actually came with some good points this week. So I'm pretty happy about that aspect of it. Some things to call out would be around my Aaron Rodgers pick, number one, that I picked, 34 points in the day. Julio Jones, the second pick, 29 points on the day. And then Carlos Hyde, my third pick, pulling in a nice, cool 37.10 points. Travis Kelce, another big one, tight end, killed it. You had a good day with Severian Jenkins. But Tony Romo and Severian Jenkins are only two of the real ones that stood out for you on that one. So with that being said, I want to give myself kudos. I want to thank my producers. I want to thank my director. I want to thank everybody in the world for coming down on me, just like they did to number 12 right behind me. I come out of the ashes. I'm here to win. I'm here to beat down anybody that's in there. With that being said, I'm not going to overreact after week one, because that's what everybody does. Buffalo Bills are not going to the Super Bowl. Everybody says they are. They also say that Indianapolis Colts, they're done, they're finished, they have nothing on defense, they'll be in the playoffs. Peyton Manning, they say his career is over. Oh man, he's done, he's finished. I really think that it's more probable than not that Peyton Manning will probably head to the playoffs again this year. So, with that being said, week one, highest scoring team, biggest margin of victory, that goes to this guy right here. Deflate These Nuts. And I'm going to pull a Gronk smash in with that right there. Okay, so let's go through a couple of the other ones that were there. The game of the week, the one that came down to the least amount of points, there was actually a couple of them that actually fell into an alignment with these two. But there was one game that was a difference of 2 points, and one game that was a difference of 3 points. So the 2 points was Do Your Job and Jeff's team squeaking out a victory against Not Your Sticker Bitch and Kevin. Right down to the wire, it came down to a kicker, pretty much is what it was. When Walsh missed that first kick, it actually brought him down. He got 1 point back, lost by 2. One more field goal, or if he had hit that one field goal, he would have beat Do Your Job. But that's how it goes in the game of fantasy football. So, good victory for Do Your Job, coming in at 116.95 points. Some of the great moments on that team, of course, would be this guy right here, and Rob Gronkowski. And Cam Newton having an 18.75 game. I don't know why you're starting Cam Newton, because he's pretty much a flash in the pan. Sorry, Troy. Cam Newton is going to do nothing in Carolina. So, Not Your Sticker Bitch, Russell Wilson, 26 points on the day for you. You had 24 points from Jamal Charles and 25 points from Danny Woodhead. Good pick on that one. I think that's going to be a good long term, as long as the little guy can stay healthy. When he left the Patriots, he went out west and obviously found the injury bug. So, okay, so that's the second game. That's the game of the week, being the fact that it was only a 2-point difference that was on there. The 3-point difference would have to be the returning champion from last year and the returning champion from 2 years ago in Bell's Bashers versus Sexy Sandwich. Sexy Sandwich eke this victory out against Bell's Bashers on the coattails of Ben Roethlisberger and Keenan Allen. Allen was a beast. I think 14 or 15 receptions in a day against Detroit. He was killing it. Stevie Johnson. The San Diego offense is going to be pretty good with that, with the high-flying wide receivers. They might be a little bit different if they can hit a really good secondary versus anybody other than Detroit. But Keenan Allen is a beast. So great job, 25.30 points on your team. And then of course on the other side, Bell's Bashers, pretty mixed team there. Sam Bradford got you 19.72. And then Marshawn Lynch got you 21.20, which I think you can be pretty much consistently every week in and week out, to be able to get those kind of points from those guys. Sorry that the returning champ didn't win. The But you got to understand, once you're the world champs, just like the New England Patriots, everybody in the world is out to get you. Embrace the hate. They're coming to get you. You were number one last year. Scott, you were number one the year before. We're all coming to get you. That's it. All right, boom. Okay, so next, we had a couple middle-of-the-roader games. We had a 28-point victory, and this one surprised me because John, who usually sits right around, up near the top. No, John usually sits right at the bottom of the entire league. He's usually like in last place or second to last. I don't know why he does this, but he does it. He keeps coming back, and we love you, John. But you were one of the ones that a couple people picked as being a winner this year, and you had some pretty good points. You had 132 points on the day. It just so happens that you had to play Boat Drinks that had 160 points on the day. But Boat Drinks, that was only the second highest score of the day. Mine was the first. I'm just saying. Okay, so Boat Drinks, 160 points, of course, on the back of Tom Brady. This guy right here, 41.31 points on that one. Eddie Lacy, 22 points. Kendall Wright, 16 points. Jimmy Graham, 14.5. Murray, 16.5 points. Your kicker got you 18. In New York, the defense got you 14. Lots of double digits. A lot of really good scores. Great job, well-rounded victory for Boat Drinks that was on there. John, don't hang your head too low. Drew Brees got you over 20 points. Ivory, who was the guy I was trying to trade with you with, got you 28 points. Witten, 23. And DeAndre Hopkins was the other guy that's going to blow up this year, I think. I just have a feeling he's going to be crazy. 27.90 points. Too bad Janikowski and Green Bay got you single digits. But other than that, respectable loss that's on there. But a loss is a loss, and a loss puts you back to where you normally sit. So you got to turn your favor around, man. You got to do something here, man, right? So mix it up. I'm still willing to look at trades. I got a couple people on my bench that we can actually work with here. If you're looking for somebody, come talk to me, because finally I have a little bit of leverage. And after 2 or 3 weeks of doing this, hopefully after the week 1 ecstatic craziness, we're going to go ahead and move forward with having some trades on the market. You guys coming to me saying, hey, what do you got? So next one I wanted to cover would have to be, I always just like saying the name, is not the Johnny Utahs, but Turd Ferguson. I like saying it about 75 times during the draft. It's just a great name to talk about and be able to bring up. But Johnny Utahs came out with a pretty decisive victory, 25-point lead that he took on with Turd Ferguson on the back of Matty Ryan. Going Monday night, came through with a really good game, a 23.81. But the big story on Johnny Utahs was, of course, Matt Forte, ringing in at 31.30 points. One of the top running backs in the entire National Football League on Sunday for points-wise. Killed it, destroyed it, receiving, running, everything right across the board. So great job, Matt, picking up Forte. I know that was one of your guys, Matt, picking up Forte. That has a ring to it. So Matt from Johnny Utahs has Matt Forte. Good. That might be your ticket, right? McCoy, okay, he was all right for the overall points. New England defense, that was a homer pick. 5 points. That might be a bad pick this year. You might want to think about changing that out. As for Turd Ferguson, Stafford, 17 points. Odell Beckham, not very much. Emmanuel Sanders, 12. Great. Alfred Morris and Jeremy Hill, both great points totals that were on there, 42 total points, but just not enough, 109 points total. So I got to give it to Johnny Utahs. Great job in your league. Johnny Utahs and I are in another league also, and he destroyed me in that league, even though I came in at 139 to 140 points. He also pulled 160 like I did in this league, and Matt scored the most in his. Just saying. I do play 2 leagues, but this is my most important one. So, okay. Next one I wanted to go over, I touched on a little bit earlier. Will Winslow, you pulled in with the 121.51 points. 121 points with 1.21 gigawatts. 121. Maybe it means something. Maybe that's how you're going to score against everybody that comes on moving forward this entire season. DeMarco Murray, great amount of points. Eifert, great job at tight end. I mean, scored same as Kelsey and some of these other guys, Ferris Jenkins and Gronkowski. It was a tight end weekend, man. It was crazy tight end scores that were on there. And Abdullah, great pickup. Big name. Some people were a little bit nervous about getting him, but he rang in at 21.46 points also. Great job with 121.51 points. Will, this normally doesn't happen to you. You normally don't have a winning record in our league. You're starting off 1-0. Great start. As for elevator knockouts, A little bit nervous. I mean, Philip Rivers had a great game for you, 33 points, great job. Antonio Brown, of course, every week is going to have good points. Then we get into kind of some sketchy areas around running back with 13 with Forsett. Stewart, 17. Okay. Donald, the tight end, 4 points each, not so much. That was on there. And of course, as we know, the other conspiracy happened, and the other gate that happened in our league is defensive gate, where Chris didn't pick up his defense in time on the Wednesday and Saturday time frames. Had no idea. He lost by 4 points, but didn't have a defense. Oh man, I'm sorry. I did come out with the words early enough that everybody can get on board with it. Everybody else knew about it. I'm sorry that you weren't in alignment with that, but now you know. Moving forward, fantasy football sometimes can be time of despair, angst, pain, suffering, all of it. Okay, all right. So pick it up next time. Matt Bryant got you good points as a kicker. So great job, 17 points. So great job, good win, Will. And the last but not least, got to bring it up because I brought up a trophy. I didn't give me pictures of those trophies. I don't know why I didn't give me pictures of the trophies, even though it was promised to me on Sunday from Bell's Bastards in Detroit. Maybe things got mixed up. Maybe the wires got mixed up. Maybe Troy didn't want to sit in front of his little piggy that I gave him with the little engraving on the bottom saying he was dead last year. Now, with that being said, Troy, let's talk, dude. You got the lowest score out of anybody else in the entire league. You scored less than 100 points overall for the day. 93.57. Mind you, you're only projected to get 106. Marty, let's be thanking your good cookies. You faced Troy, right? On a week where Andrew Luck had an absolutely horrible time. This guy only got you 19 points versus the 30s that Rivers and Rodgers and Brady's got 40s, all the stuff. Andrew Luck, he didn't have that great of a game. He'll make a comeback, you know that. Landry, great job, 20.81 points. Really not that great on running back numbers. Frank Gore is going to be somebody that, I don't know, people ranked Luck, Hope, and Prayer, your team, to be really high. Frank Gore is a suspect pick. He's old. We'll see what happens. Yeldon was a good pick, only 12 points. But when I watched the game on Red Zone, Yeldon looked pretty good. I just don't know how he's going to do when he's, going against some of these good defenses that are out there. So we'll see how that all goes. Bishop Sankey, great pickup, Marty. I think that's going to be your ticket if you're going to be able to make it to the playoffs. That's your guy. That's the guy that's going to be able to run it and be able to do it for you. Okay. Carolina, don't know what else to say other than you got to do better, man. Your wide receivers both get single digits, 7 and 1 point for your wide receivers. Your running backs get 12 and 19. Cameron, your tight end, was probably one of your only really huge bright spots at 7.65. Even Tannehill, who was projected to get 24, got you 16. Carolina defense is the only thing you had that you could really hang your hat on to say, okay, good, I can move forward with that, which we kind of knew. I mean, you even said it. It's good. Like, he went down, man, and he had a pretty bad concussion. Wonder how many games he's going to be out. That's your team leader. All those good things that are there. So, okay, those are my reviews for the entire week. The game of the week, as we said, was the 2-point victory. The blowout of the week was this guy right here, the guy that got the worst draft grade out of all of them. And next week I may score a Carolina 95 points, and then I'll be eating crow. But I'm going to enjoy and just live in this moment, because I always believe that if you live in a moment and you just want to be able to soak it up and live it in, it's good for the heart. It really is, because all the angst and pain and anguish that I feel all the other times of the year, right now is the moment where I can go, yeah, I'm feeling good about this, man. Okay, so next week's week number 2, man, don't forget to get your weekly pick'ems in. Don't forget to keep good dialogue going. I think the group me's been really good. I think we've been able to talk back and forth, have some fun with that aspect of it. Any trades, get them in. Remember, Troy, I'm going to be taking $2 off your overall fees for the 2 transactions that you had for $1. Kind of shady when somebody goes in and makes a transaction thinking that it's going to be $0. Anyway, everybody else, have a great week this week. Enjoy fantasy football. Enjoy coming in to play. We're gonna have a great season this year. Good draft. Everything else. I feel really good about the league, and we shall talk to you later. I am out.